for outer zones. And that's what we got. So, we've got outer zone 1, outer zone 2, our touch and go. We got an inner clip. We got outer zone 3 to the finish line, along with some, clipping points, some new signage for our sponsors and our series. We're excited. I mean, we seen some, guys just come out, guns a-blazing in practice, getting all the way out there deep into these outer zones. Casey Rodriguez being one of those guys. First run. And I was like, wow, he just really nailed it. We had some guys, just struggling a little bit to figure out where that decel zone is going into the touch and go area. But towards the end of practice, everybody looked pretty solid, trying to encourage them, hey, man, go pedal to the metal, get deeper into outer zone 1, outer zone 2. So here we are, beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway, Mother Nature being super kind to us, and we hope she can throughout this top 16 competition. I'm stoked. I think you are too.
Yeah, no, I got to watch a little bit of practice earlier, but from what I saw, kind of like what you said, we saw some drivers coming out swinging. So here's a look at our points championship at the moment. We have Kris Krutul coming in first place right now, holding down that first place spot in the series at 170 points. Our guy that we saw last year as well, Reese Conklin, he ended up last round kind of getting knocked out early, which kind of hurt him a little bit, but he still remains in the second spot for points. And what's cool is we have a tie here for third and fourth. So these guys are really going to be pushing today to try and earn their spot, maybe get on that podium again and secure some great points. And then Casey Rodriguez rounding out the top 5.
Right. So again, like Casey being one of the guys coming out, just first run, he's down in the, bottom end of the 5 there. You never know. He could take, podium today, first place. Like you said, Reese Conklin not making a podium for round 2. What can he bring to the table here at round 3? I feel like I just want to just be what's the proper term? I just want to push people, right? I want to be the devil's advocate and say, hey, it's still anybody's game, right? And so, here we are, right? It's anybody's game, I feel like, here at round 3 for our Formula Drift ProAm Championship Series. I'm excited. I think you can probably tell. Like I'm just like anxious. I'm excited. We got a lot going on. We've got the mad scientist, Mr. Wildberry Studios behind the control booth here, and he is determined to bring you a better product for round 3 here. We're super excited about that. He's put in a lot of work for it, and we want to make sure that you guys are entertained there at home, on your mobile device, or on your TV. We hope you're putting this on your TV. Hi to the family and kids there at home. Little Lou, Alice, Jenna, love you guys. See you soon. Here we are.
Yeah, we're here, and going back on these points for just a minute, it's still anybody's game. Especially those top 5 guys, they're within 100 points of each other. What I love to tell everybody about drifting is anything can happen in drifting.
Right.
And we have another day tomorrow.
Right, exactly. So loud cars, and so I think you were able to get a little interview with Kris in the pits, in the paddocks earlier.
I was able to follow up with Kris earlier this morning and just kind of talk to him about how he's feeling and, if he does come out, what's he going to do with that license? So we can go to that interview now.
Awesome.
Here at East10 Drift, round 3 for the ProAm Drift Series. We're here with our points leader, Kris Krutul.
Hey, how's it going?
Wanted to see kind of where your mind is at right now. Last year you guys had some car troubles, and then this year you come out not so great in round 1, but you ended up winning round 2. How are you feeling right now? What's your mindset?
So I am feeling very good. Just having fun. And you're telling me, oh, I'm first in points. It doesn't matter to me that much. As long as we have fun, as long as we have ability to learn and just progress, that's all that matters for us. So that's where I'm at, mind-wise.
Yeah. So we'll say you come out this weekend and you get that ProAm license or that Pro Spec license.
Yeah.
Are you thinking you're going to go make the jump to Pro Spec, or is
absolutely.
it just kind of
absolutely. But I'm at the point where if I win the license, I want to win the license. Like
right.
I don't want to be like in a point where I win because someone broke down or someone. If I'm at that point, there is a chance I would probably take a year off just to kind of make sure that I can compete on the Pro Spec level. I don't want to end up in the point where I win that license and then I end up, with the big boys, not being able to do the big boy driving. So that's where I'm at. If I really win that license, I'll go. If I win it, but not completely, then there's a 50-50 chance that I'll be competing in Pro Spec.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Well, You heard it from the man. Kris,
Yeah.
I've seen you drive a lot. I've
Yeah.
seen you for 3 years now.
Yes.
You're coming out swinging. I know you want it bad. I could tell by the
Yeah.
emotion
Yeah.
at the last
Yeah.
event when you won. So
Yeah.
good luck to you. Hopefully you come out on top today and get that license for
Yeah.
your program. So
I really appreciate it.
you.
Thank you, guys. Yep.
That's awesome. So I think he's, Kris is a super humble guy. I know he's super excited. He's feeling all the feels for sure. And, he was having some issues throwing a belt here and there during practice. So hopefully he can put that together and put down some solid runs during his battles. So super excited. One of the other guys here, Gerald Naylor-Smith, making his way back to the hot pits. He was having some issues with in round 1 and 2. Kind of figured that out. It was his, I think he was throwing a belt as well, but a supercharger. So something with the tensioning pulley and whatnot. So he's got to figure it out. Then he came out first part of practice and found out that, he was sucking in so much air through the intake that it was like, it was his, I guess the intake hose was collapsing.
Oh, wow.
And so he got that figured out. And so he was just a totally different driver once he got that situated and look better. So, wish him luck as well. But yeah, I think, we've got a bracket coming up here shortly. We've got a couple of buys for our top 16. So, I think we'll get through it, fairly quickly. But here you see Kris Krutul having a buy on his first run there. And then first battle will be Gerald Naylor-Smith against Wesley Cloud, following Jacob Brudski, not Dimitri, Jacob, who is Dimitri's son, going up against Alan Boss. And then we got Reese Conklin going up against Joshua Dennis. And then Nicholas Abbott against Justin Napier. And Matthew Glasscock going up against John Wyndham, which actually he didn't show up. So Glasscock will get a buy run there. And then Andrew Shorkey going up against Jake Little. So Jake Little having some issues there round 1 and 2 as well. And finally was getting some runs down, getting some laps down on the track. So good for him. Good to see him. Team RTS there putting it together for his program. And then we got Casey Rodriguez, who again one more buy there because unfortunately Andy Hardy had a bow out. His car just he couldn't put it together. So a couple buys there. We'll get into the grade 8. And ideally just be able to have a nice round 3 in the current conditions. I don't like to say the R word. I'm a little bit of a superstitious person in that regard. And after, 13 or so years of running these events, I like to pray to the drift gods and say, just give us something good and consistent. And hey, worst case scenario, that doesn't happen. It's good for the drivers anyway to learn in whatever the surface condition is here on track. So anything's always going to help you develop your skills as a driver, right? And that's what we want. We want a good, prep driver coming out of our series here at the end of the season, ready to apply, what we taught them and apply that confidence they gained from our program in any other competition they go to throughout the rest of the season, and ideally, help to make them a better driver.
Yeah, I know you like to pride yourself and the East 10 brand on. We're trying to get these drivers prepared as much as we possibly can, and that includes, hey, we're going to follow the ProSpec rulebook. We're even going to go as far as using the exact tire that they're using in ProSpec, which is the GT Radial. So all these guys are on the same tire that they would be using in ProSpec, which I feel like in some series, if they're not doing that, they're actually maybe even pulling the drivers back because the drivers are setting the car up to be on a 285 tire or, something different. And then when they jump up, they're going to have to readjust their car altogether. So I think East 10, you've really kind of pulled it down to where, like, you could literally take your setup from this series because you're on that tire and you can move it into ProSpec as long as the power is there. And, I think that's going to help these guys in the long run.
Exactly. And just as seamless as possible of a transition is what we want. We want them ready, well-rounded. And, again, like you said, just maybe they need a little bit more horsepower, right? Which, a lot of the comments we get from drivers that have never driven with us and they're driving with these, group of, drivers here in ProAm is that, man, these guys are like, they're up there even at this level of driving with their horsepower and their builds and, just how well put together they are. You have to be, you have to be, if you're doing this, to get that license, you don't want to discount yourself, right? You don't want to shortchange yourself. You want to be 100% ready for when you get there. And so we're pretty excited. I know the team and the volunteers are super excited out there. Shout out to the East 10 Drift crew. the best of the best here in the Pro-Am organization level of drift series. These guys are on top of it, and we couldn't do it without them. So shout out to you guys out there. Anybody who's ever helped us and got us to this level, we do miss you. And I know some of you can be here, but you are appreciated, and you are thought of when it comes to who helped build this house, right? But yeah, we're super stoked. So we've got a higher vantage point this go around. Last round we had to be a little bit lower just because it kind of would have clipped off the entry point for us to see. So we're a little bit higher here. Some of the improvements we brought, the FPV drone. Everybody loves that FPV drone. Judges do, especially when it comes to replays. So that was one of the biggest things to get connected for this round. And so, it just helps to really create that atmosphere for you watching at home or on your device, your mobile device there. So just real quick shout out, obviously Race Treads, without them, we wouldn't be getting this broadcast up and going. So shout out to Frank and the Race Treads crew, Josh down there with his team in the rig and getting these guys situated with their GT Radio tires. Of course, shout out to GT Radio USA, Mike and the boys out there. Drift HQ, if you haven't visited their website, go to drifthq.com. And visit their page. If you need anything drift related, hit them up. If you need anything sim drift related, hit them up. Go to their website, drifthq.com. Shout out to Rick of RTS and their team jumping on board to sponsor here for these last 2 rounds. Super great support from Rick and his crew, and man, it's awesome to see him help drivers like Jake put their stuff together, get it together to meet the deadline for these second half of the season. Link ECU, of course, helping us, convert that driver from a Pro-Am driver to a Pro Spec driver. Greg and the boys down at CoreWorks always supporting us, ready to be there for when we need them. Hit them up, one of the staple organizations and businesses in the drift community. Lots of history there with Greg and the team. And then, of course, Scott with Grip Royal. Man, the dude is a beast. I mean, he is, a very inspiring, great entrepreneur, lover of the drift community. I mean, he's just helping put things together event-wise, helping things happen with folks like Slammed Enough and I think it's a Clean Culture and whatnot. And so shout out to him, and of course Alan there at Bridge Moto team. If you need some gear, gloves, seats and whatnot, suits, hit up Bridge Moto. AZ Rag, of course, part of the portion of what makes the signage happen and the wraps and the liveries and all that sort of stuff. So shout out to AZ Rag, and then of course XS Power. Man, Remy was like, hey, dude, I got an idea. I was like, what? He's like, I want to give a battery to every driver that comes out to your last 2 rounds. So surprise drivers, you're getting a free battery from XS Power. No, it's not going to be a piece of paper that says, here, I owe you. It's an actual battery. So we'll be giving those to the drivers there towards the end of the day. So shout out to Remy and the boys there at XS Power. Thank you guys very much for making that happen. So yeah, thank you guys. We're here, round 3, Bristol Motor Speedway. And yeah. Of course, there's Wildberry Studios. But I gave him a shout out first. So.
Yeah.
So shout out to Trent and Victoria from, making it happen here. Trenton's a good dude, and he's super, pumped and motivated and excited. And that just, anybody who's, super pumped and excited and is around you, it's contagious, right? So on a day that you're just feeling a little bit, dragging your feet, like you bring him on board and he'll it's like a cup of coffee, or a Red Bull or a Monster or whatever y'all drink. So anyway, we got Mo and the gang there waiting. Burnout box is ready to go. I think we got Kris Krutul there. We got Kris Krutul ready to do the burnout box. We're ready to send it. Let's see him go.
Yeah. So while he's warming up his tires, we do have a little bit of a judge change this weekend. So we still have Louie as one of our judges. We have Connor O'Sullivan back here with us, and then we have a surprise judge, Brian Schiraldi, filling in for our friend Tony, who was unable to make it, unfortunately, for the weekend. So,
yeah, and shout out to Tony. We wish you a speedy recovery. He couldn't make it here because of some procedures there, but you are in our thoughts and prayers, sir. Thank you for all you do for us, and we'll see you. We'll see you soon. So, we got our judges here ready, and we're ready to send it here. We got Kris Krutul at the line, and we're ready to send it. So here we go. We'll just kind of do a quick explanation here. We got our late initiation cone. He just passed there, going into outer zone 1. Filling the zone very well there. Going big sweeper. Got to catch into outer zone 2. Now we got to decel a little bit just to do the touch and go there. Nice, pretty deep. A little bit far from the inner clip there. And then here we go into the final outer zone 3. Got to finish and commit through the finish line there. Mr. Kris Krutul there. A pretty good line, minus the inner clip.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a pretty good little by run for sure. I mean, he looked like he was running the zones for the majority of the run, but like you said, maybe a little off there on the inner clip. But hey, this is just a practice run essentially. He's got a by run. He's already in the Great 8, so he's just saying, let's make a run. Let's go have fun with this. So he did exactly that. Laid down, I didn't get to, like I said, didn't get to watch a whole lot of practice, but I would say that he was probably hitting that same run all practice because he's a super consistent driver that we have in the series.
Yeah, he's pretty consistent, and I did mention to him as about the inner clip is, hey, I think you bobbled a couple times there. He's like, yeah, part of it was his belt. Then after that, it's just like, kind of the hesitance of like, oh my God, will the belt do the same thing here in the same spot of the track? And so I think, he's just being a little bit timid on that inner clip, but once he gets his footing, I think he'll be good. So,
yeah, so it looks like we've got our next battle coming up to the burnout box. It looks like Wesley Cloud and Gerald Naylor Smith. I'm really happy to see Smith out here. Like you said, had car troubles last time, and it's crazy to watch car troubles round 1 and 2, and then he comes this weekend and it looks like I've never seen him drive because of the car problems, and he was just ripping, laying down.
He really was, and that was, again, it's just exciting to see. I mean, in some of his promos, and you see him on track, the guy could drive. It's like, what is going on? And so, here we have, two similar situations, because even Wesley Cloud has been battling a lot of gremlins with his car, and where he was pretty confident. If you follow him and see his posts on his social media, you kind of saw like his basically step by step of like, this is what's been going on with the car, this is what I'm doing to remedy it. And so hopefully they could both put down a solid run. And Cloud will lead. I'm sorry, Naylor will lead. Naylor leads Cloud. Yeah, and we're ready to send it. Let's see Mo send it down the line. Here we go. First battle, round 3, East10 Drift, formerly Drift ProAm Championship Series. Little Monty there from Gerald. Little outside going into outer zone 1. Wesley Cloud way past the line there. Gerald nailing it into outer zone 2. Hits the touch and go, little bobble there, but gets super close in proximity to inner clip 1. The only inner clip here today, outer zone 3. Gerald nails it. Super impressive run there by Gerald. Solid run. I think Wesley just, he might be still battling some gremlins there, but he was definitely outside. I feel like maybe even 2 wheels out of outer zone 1 and 2.
Just looking back at that run, Naylor Smith he did exactly what he needed to do in the lead, and may have dropped a tire here on the first outer, but yeah, Wesley Cloud's car sounded like it may have been going into a limp mode or something, maybe rev limiter at 4,000 RPM or so, but looks like they're gonna take him and flip him.
Yeah, so we got both guys ready at the line. The judges are ready. Let's see him go. Here we go through the chicane. Let's see. We told the chase drivers sacrifice that Manji if the lead driver does and Naylor does. Wesley definitely in outer zone 1, just a little shallow probably. Shallow going into outer zone 2. Going way outside the line, putting his line off. Wesley Cloud touch and go inner clip 1. Going into outer zone 3. Both wheels in. Naylor might be sacrificing proximity just to kind of be conservative, thinking maybe that he has an advantage, but we'll have to take a look at both replays here.
Yeah, while we're waiting on that replay to come up, yeah, I mean, just from the audio, it sounded like Wesley Cloud's car is just bogging, or maybe having an issue going into limp mode. Not sure what it is, but you could definitely tell that it hindered his performance there in the lead. He was, filling some of the zones, but you could tell that he was doing everything he could to make that car work to the zones and make a good run there. So.
All right, so having a little bit of difficulties here with the replay, but we do have a decision. Slide him left for Wesley, right for Naylor Smith, and we got unanimous decision here. And so Gerald Naylor Smith gets the win. Gerald Naylor Smith gets the win.
Yeah, it was unfortunate there for Cloud. I know, I watched a couple of his runs in practice. It looked like that car was actually running really well, and he was putting his foot to the floor. It's really unfortunate to see him go out like that. I know he was really hungry to come back and get a good weekend to go back to the trailer tonight and try and figure out what these gremlins are coming from. It seems like they hit you when you know you got to dial in when you least expect it. So.
Right, and so, yeah, it just sounded like he might have bogged in going into outer zone 1 and then overcompensated and just pushed out into, outer zone 1. And so we have, up next, we got Jacob Brutsky leading Alan Boss. Jacob Brutsky leading Alan Boss. Jacob on his way out there.
All these BMWs out here, it's honestly my people. I see 2 BMWs waiting to go in the burnout box, 1 going to the start line now. I'm a fan of BMWs. I think that we still have our fair share of 240s or, that S chassis out here, and we're seeing a lot more Zs, which is pretty cool. But it's crazy now. You see, even I'm looking at the grid right now, and I see a Monte Carlo out here. Like, there's so many different cars right now.
We had some guys, just kind of complaining about the chicane. It was too tight. I'm like, but the Monte Carlo can make it through it. How's he doing it? Like,
right.
Come on.
If you can put a boat through it, you can. It's fine. Any car will go through it.
So Brutsky needs to be at the line right now, and unfortunately, he may need to be calling a competition timeout. What's going on? All right.
Michael, he either comes to the line or calls a 5.
Boss is eager. He's in the wings waiting. He's got his eyes on the prize, I'm sure, from last time. Not making round 1, but coming out round 2 and suffering a little bit of inconsistencies there. I don't know if it was car related or just nerves, but I know he's wanting to redeem himself here. So Brutsky pulling up to the line to lead Boss for this first run.
Yeah, and highly unusual. I mean, because usually these guys want to be able to scrub tires. And so, yeah, I guess he's going to skip that. Yeah, judges are ready, so let's see if we can get Mo to send it.
See the arms going up.
All right, here we go. Jacob Brutsky leading Alan Boss. Alan Boss, a current Pro-Spec license holder. Brutsky's doing the Monty into outer zone 1. No tire scrubbing. Pretty solid line into outer zone 1. Coming into outer zone 2 shy. Scrubbing a little too much speed early. Touch and go. Slowing down. Almost parking it at Walmart. Here we go. Outer zone 3. Wow. Yeah. So from a judging standpoint, I mean, Brutski's having some sort of issue. I don't know if it's just the jitters or what's going on, but, you know, in my opinion, and it's got to be a pretty strong one, I see this with, you know, Jacob in a deficit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like, you know, I can't hear his car over Boss's, but it looked like he was having some sort of issue there, slowing him down, because Boss was all over his door. I know Boss is hungry, like I said, but I just wonder how much of that was some sort of maybe it didn't scrub because he's on some scrub tires. Maybe they were trying to get the car ready for the line and didn't have time to change tires, so he's probably conserving, knowing that he's going to have to chase second and needs that tire to be able to keep up. So could be it. Could be having some car issues, but I definitely think he's going to have to stick it to Alan Boss's door and hope that Alan can make some mistakes. But we'll flip them around here and see what this run holds.
Yeah, let's see what they got. I mean, judges are ready. I'm pretty solid with my decision. I know the other judges are jotting down some notes, but I think they're ready as well. So let's go ahead and see Mo send it on down the line here. So yeah, so Boss, all he has to do is lay down a nice, you know, consistent line. Brutski not even able to take off, so he's definitely having some mechanical issues. Brutski just needs a nice clean line, outer zone 1, keep those wheels inside. He's barely keeping that rear wheel inside outer zone 1, gets outer zone 2 nice and comfy there. Let's touch and go nice and proper, getting into the inner clip 1. Nice proximity there. Don't hang it out too wide, Alan. Don't ruin this run. Just get it nice and clean. There it is across the finish line. Brutski definitely has to feel some frustration there. Poor guy. There is something going on with the car for sure, even though we see him ripping through the course. And that is definitely a sign of frustration there. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I have my decision. I feel like the other judges do as well.
Yeah, so looking at Boss's run, he knew that, you know, he did. I'd say he probably didn't know that Brutski wasn't behind him, but he knew he needed to lay down a solid lead. You know, I don't know if he dropped 2 tires on that outer one, but obviously that would change everything. If that was the case, that would essentially mean that he had an incomplete on his lead. But let the judges make that decision. Looks like they were waiting on the decision there, but yeah, some gremlins there for Brutski. Wasn't able to take off the line, but ended up.
Yeah, and if we could see that replay one more time of Boss on that last run, just want to make sure that he was not 2 wheels out on that outer zone 1. If we can put some emphasis in that area there. Because if that's the case and he does go 2 wheels out, I mean, that pretty much zeroes his run, and that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. You know, unfortunate for Boss, of course. Obviously, it would be a saving grace for Brutski in this case, but I guess the video would be the telltale sign here. So we're working with a new replay system, so we're trying to make sure everything's working like we should, waiting on that replay to pop up whenever they get a chance.
See, I'm pulling it up right now, so I think hopefully we'll see it here on screen shortly. Looking at that outer zone 1 replay. Yep, he keeps that one. He keeps it in, so he's only barely 1 tire off, and I think the judges will have a decision here shortly. So it comes down to that, right? I mean, you think, hey, it's easy street. I got this run because, you know, so and so botched their run, and then you just goof up like that. You know, that could be sloppy. A sloppy mistake, but, you know, thankfully, you know, Alan being the Pro Spec license, you know, holder already, knows better than that. So here we go. Judges are still making a couple notes there, but for the most part, should have a decision here.
Yeah, and it was something that you mentioned in the drivers' meeting. You know, you want these guys to watch. We're going to treat that as a wall, so that's why we say the 2 tires off would equal a 0 in this case. So watching that is very important here.
So slide them left for Brutski, right for Boss. And of course, unanimous. Boss gets the win. Boss gets the win.
Yeah, super frustrating for Brutski. I was talking to him earlier this morning. They actually just put a brand new motor in that car, and they got 1 test day, I believe, which Dimitri was the one testing it. Not sure if that's what our struggle is here, or if, you know, they were late to the line. I don't know if they were battling some gremlins or if it was a tire issue.
Yeah.
You know?
So we have Reese Conklin and Joshua Dennis there at the line. So Joshua, you know, doing pretty good. Most of practice up until, you know, like, you know, he was being a little timid with the outer zone 1 and 2, and I told him, I was like, get on him about just getting deeper into that zone, because if he doesn't, it's just not going to work out on his behalf, whoever he goes with. So, you know, Reese is going to be leading Joshua here. Reese, 17-year-old Reese Conklin, hungry for that license. I mean, he's got that mentality. You know, judges are ready here. We're ready to send it. We're super stoked. But Josh was like, "Nah, man, I want it too." So let's just see what happens here. Totally different power plants, right? Here we go. Reese Conklin coming out of the chicane. Got to do that initiation before the cone there into outer zone 1. Looks like he's filling that zone very well. Joshua not too far away, trying to keep up with them. Sacrificing angle. Reese into outer zone 2 very well into the touch and go. Nice, smooth line. Joshua sacrificing line to gain proximity. Reese going into outer zone 3. Nice, deep line there, very clean. Joshua, again, just maybe a little bit underpowered up against Reese and having to sacrifice angle to gain some proximity there.
Yeah, looking back at this replay, you know, Reese Conklin knows what he has to do here. Lays it into that first zone perfectly. Dennis right on his door, having to sacrifice a little bit of line into that outer 2. Both drivers get into it, into the touch and go. This is where we saw Dennis come up a little short to try and keep that proximity with Conklin, but both drivers into that outer 3. Great proximity from Dennis. So.
All right, so we got Dennis calling a 5-minute competition timeout. And so we'll have to back Mr. Reese Conklin off of the line there. You know, maybe he's having some technical difficulties. Obviously, he's doing a timeout.
Yeah, it looked like he was holding on pretty strong there. If he's got some car issues, I don't know if it's power or...
So we'll go ahead and back Reese off the line and get Nicholas Abbott and Justin Napier to scrub tires and get them to the line. So we're going to move on to the next battle while this competition timeout is taken care of.
Yeah, we have a 2-time podium driver here about to line up with this Monte Carlo. Like, what's going through your mind when you line up beside this Monte Carlo? You know, something you don't see every day, but it would definitely be a cool car to chase and have runs with. So, you know, Napier coming to us, you know, he competed with us last year, coming to us for the last 2 rounds here this weekend, and I think he's just eager to compete. He loves competing, he loves driving, so.
Oh, definitely, I would agree. And so here we got trying to get these guys to the burnout box so they can scrub their tires here. No, it's, you know, it's pretty intense, especially when it comes down to competition. I mean, even as far as like making sure you don't eat too much or whatever right before you get to the line. I mean, you got to think of everything, right? And so here we go, the Monte Carlo, Mr. Justin Napier there into the burnout box. That thing's a boat.
It really is.
At least as big as that boat that we see at you know, events like Hyperfest or whatever.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. So
just thinking about all the one-off drift parts on that car, like you have to have an angle kit for a Monte Carlo. There's probably not a single manufacturer out there that makes that.
Right.
That's fully custom.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and the cage in there is like, what is that, like, there's a movie, Death Metal or something like that. It's, I forgot what that movie is.
Like a Mad Max
Russell.
kinda?
Yeah, kind of like a Mad Max. I mean, that thing is like extra caged. So here we go. They're getting to the line there.
Yeah, Nick Abbott here. He's going to lead Napier. Both these guys in their 20s. Not from the area, but
yeah, let's see what they got. We're definitely ready to see them go through the chicane here and get this thing started. So. You never know, man. You never know what you're going to get. Nick Abbott taking off on Mr. Napier there, going into outer zone 1. Nice clean entry there, nice initiation. Coming out just a little early of outer zone 1, but still in it. Nice and deep into outer zone 2. Touch and go there. Oh, Justin almost parks it, and he has to sacrifice the course. That zeroes him out, but Nicholas Abbott not letting that get to him. Unfortunate for Justin, but you never know. What if Abbott just does some weird fluke, right?
It's a sport of drifting. Anything can happen, you know. Looking back at the replay here, Abbott just takes off. But Napier obviously wants to jump back in here, so sacrificing some angle to try and keep up with Abbott. Abbott's car, rocket ship, but filling outer 1, outer 2 as well. Goes 2 over there. I'm not sure if that's part of the course or just more of a here's kind of where you need to be. Into that touch and go, Justin kind of angles up there and has to go off track in order to get back into drift. But Abbott doing exactly what he needed to do there, lay down a solid lead, and now he just needs to put it on Napier's door, and Napier needs to lay down a solid lead.
Yeah, so we kind of drew that line, and that wasn't talked about in the drivers' meeting. That was just kind of a, just to kind of illustrate and make things look nice and fancy with the signage and stuff like that. So that will not dock against the driver. We're just looking at outer zone areas and clipping points. So judges are ready to see the second half of this battle. Let's see what Justin has here. See if he can get out of the chicane there nice and clean, and he does. Nicholas just needs to be a little bit conservative here. Let Justin do what he can do. So Justin already 2 tires off. Looks like they're in outer zone 1, unfortunately. Feeling the pressure. Nicholas is like, nah, man, I'm going to have some fun with you. Let me just get right on your door. I don't care how thick your metal is. Here we go. Knocks down the inner clip. Abbott just getting some practice, just trying to rub the door, put some marks on me. Basically is what Napier is giving him the opportunity. They're like, yeah, just go ahead, man. Just go ahead, rub it in, rub it in.
Yeah, no, I think, other than that first zone there, Napier was pretty solid through the rest of the course, but I think Abbott just wanted to have a little bit of fun, not play it too conservative, don't leave it in the judges' hands, but also have a lot of fun. And it's a risky game you play there when you do that. But he's got the skill to do that. Just almost rubbing the door of that Monte Carlo in that last outer zone, which is pretty cool. But you just gotta be smart in instances like that, though. Like
you do. I mean, you really do, because if Justin would have had a bad, just a bad mistake, he could have crumpled Abbott's car by accident. It's just like you gotta kind of use your best judgment there. But hey, it's just ProAm.
It's fun, man. We're all out here, and I was talking to Abbott earlier, and he's like, I want to come out and have fun. Obviously, I want to go for that pro spec license and make that jump. But one common trend between all these guys is, I want to make that jump, but as long as budget's there. But talking to Abbott, he said, I just want to come and I want to have fun, and whether I get that license or not, just want to have some fun.
Yeah, and I think the judges have made all their the decisions here, and so waiting for that graphic to get up on the screen, and then we'll get on to the second half of the Dennis and Conklin battle there. So here we go. Slide them left for Abbott, right for Napier.
Waiting on one judge to lock in his vote here. See which way this moves.
Here we go. Left or right, which way is it going to go? And, of course, Abbott gets the win. Nicholas Abbott gets the win. Moving on to the grade 8.
Yeah, this is one of those, another one of those people, Justin Napier, he's one of those guys that, sure, he didn't make it through to the grade 8, but I'm sure if you go down and talk to him, he's probably still smiling, still laughing, having fun. So. Oh,
yeah, no, the dude's awesome. He's got one of the best mindsets anyone could have in this sport. And so I think judges are ready. Yeah, so judges are ready for the second half of this Joshua Reese battle. Let's see it. All right, nice clean exit out the chicane there. Getting to that late initiation cone on time. Outer zone 1, he's in it for sure. Nice and clean. I mean, this is a different animal, right? Oh, falling short of outer zone 2. Getting into the touch and go. A little too consistent there. We want to see just like nice hip proximity on that inner clip, and of course outer zone 3 looking nice and clean.
Yeah. Great run from both these guys. You know, I saw that starting from the beginning here. You know, Dennis coming out strong in the outer one. Reese right there with him. Comes into that outer one a little late, but like I said, Reese right there. Right here is where we see Dennis come up a little short outer two, but maintains that smooth, consistent line through there into the touch and go. Both drivers just door to door for that inner clip, hitting that second hash mark into outer three. Both drivers feeling it perfectly. You know, Dennis, I don't know what kind of car trouble he had, but I think he got it fixed because that looked really good. So,
yeah, and it might not have been, you know, quick enough though to figure that out, unfortunately. And so, all judges are getting their votes in here.
Yeah, both drivers out of their cars. Just kind of chatting it up. It's just kind of a sportsman thing. You know, drifting is different than any other sport. You'll lend a part to a competitor. You'll lend a tool to a competitor. You'll even get out after the run and give high fives, give hugs, whatever it is. It's just a friendly sport. The camaraderie within these guys is just awesome. So,
all right, and I think we got a decision here. Judges' votes are in. Slide them left for Conklin, right for Dennis. And so, man, the judges have all been on the same page, I think, for the past few runs. Unanimous decision here. Reese Conklin gets the win. And so, yeah, we should have the next battle here in the burnout box already and to the line.
Yeah, looking back on that, I would have to say that win definitely came from the what could have been lack of power, lack of angle from Dennis on the previous run, if you can recall that. But Conklin will be moving on, going against Boss in the Great 8. But we'll move on to our next battle here. It's Glasscock. We'll get a bye run as Wyndham is not here for the weekend.
Yeah, so Matthew Glasscock, pretty good dude, ex-stunt bike rider. Is that what you riders? Bike rider. Yep. Judges are ready to see the nice to see the bye run here. So we may have an issue here at the line. So we'll see Glasscock here make his bye run. Yeah, so solid guy. Another awesome individual here going into outer zone 1. Just give us a nice clean line, right? See it into outer zone 2. Decel zone there, just so you can make that transition into the touch and go. Very nice. Again, into the inner clip. Just a little far off on there, that's fine. And a little shallow in outer zone 3, gets deeper in towards the end there. So nice clean run there or decent run there for Matthew Glasscock on his bye run. So, up next we should have Andrew Shorkey going up against Jake Little. So Shorkey would be leading Jake Little. We should see him there in the burnout box.
Yeah, these guys getting in their cars. Shorkey coming to us from Canada. Talked to him earlier. He's another one of those drivers that obviously wants to make that jump as long as budget's there. But from watching his driving from rounds 1 and 2, he's definitely pushing and a very consistent driver. One of the more consistent that we have in the series this year. But ended up podiuming or putting on the podium 2 rounds in a row last time, and he is tied for 3rd in points right now. So like I said earlier, drifting is a game of anything can happen. So you just got to stay consistent and hope that everything goes in his favor, and he could be our points leader by the end of the day or by the end of the weekend. You never know. So
right. And so we use Discord for our communications with the team and drivers and of course their staff and their spotters. And so part of our program is to make sure that they're ready, right? Because like right now, if they were at FD and they're not at the line, they would have lost, right? So this is pretty much unacceptable to see this, but it's up to the spotters to make sure that their drivers are informed as to when they're supposed to be in the burnout box. And so both cars should be in the burnout box, you know, right now, so that way they could get to the line. But they're falling short. Their spotters are not communicating, and this could hurt them once they get to pro. So we want to see them ready in the burnout box and to the line as soon as possible.
Yeah, I can see Jake Little starting to make his way to the burnout box. Not sure if it was just a timing thing. He wasn't ready in the car, but looks like both guys, both Corvettes, C5 and C6, jumping up to the burnout box. It's good to see Jake Little out here again. You know, I know he had some engine issues last time, but just happy to see him out here having fun.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally. I mean, I'm super stoked to see that. You know, props to Rick and his and RTS crew there for getting him here to round 3 and 4. I mean, they didn't feel like they were going to be back, but Rick was like, "No, man, we're going to make it happen," and that's just a testament to the kind of person he is. He'll give it his all to make sure he provides you with what you need to make it happen. So yeah, judges are ready to see this battle. I'm super stoked. Vet on vet action, right?
Yeah.
C5, C6.
C5, C6.
It's the C battle. Is this C class?
This is C class. Both have their New Balances on.
All right, here we go. The Canadian king of style here. Andrew Shorkey leading. Jake Little throwing that Manji. Jake not messing with that. But still, he needs to gain some proximity. Andrew fills that zone very well. Outer zone 2 just as well. Getting up to the touch and go here. That's it, drifting right through that into inner clip. Nice and tight. Jake saying, "Nah, man, I'm not going to let you go. I'm right here. I'm here to play." Andrew Shorkey filling that zone. Nice. Yeah. We're definitely going to have to check a replay out on that and see if there was any type of funny business going on. But, I mean, I think Andrew laid a pretty solid line down.
Yeah, Andrew, you know, in that outer zone 1, fills the entire thing while Jake Little is trying to get up to his door. Outer 2 perfectly falls out of that line, but as we said earlier, it's not going to deem him at fault there. But touch and go, both in that inner clip, just hugging that clip. Shorkey perfectly outside that zone there. Jake trying to do what he can to stay with Shorkey in that outer 3, but yeah, it's that was a pretty solid run there from both drivers. I know that Jake Little's going to have to lay down a pretty good lead run there and kind of combat that. But
I agree. I think we're going to have to take a look at that replay one more time. If we could get that replay one more time. Just so we could see. We want to make sure he wasn't out. So here we go off the line here. We want to make sure that we're not missing anything here. Keeping it in, keeping it in. He's in there. So we got, so okay, we're ready for the second half of this, so.
I guess for the fans, were you mainly looking at that outer 2 there?
So we're looking at outer 2, and where did we continue the cosmetic line, quote unquote, after the second outer zone, right? So there's definitely a little gray area there as to where they can be 2 tires off. And so Shorkey just, he's kind of was doing it through practice where he was making it super tough for us to even see on outer zone 3. Like he's just riding that line, making it tough for us to see if there's 2 wheels off or not. But now judges are ready to see the second half of this battle for sure. We're ready to go. And I think we're just definitely gonna have a look at these replays one more time after this battle for sure. All right, Jake Little into outer zone 1. Super tough from this point of view to see if he's 2 wheels off or not in outer zone 1, but he's inside on outer zone 2 for sure. In a good position there, touch and go, gets the inner clip. Now we haven't seen Jake Little in a battle quite yet, and this is pretty impressive. You know, what looks to be a super clean line. We'll have to look at the replay to see where he was at on outer zone 1, really, because I feel like the rest of the run was pretty decent.
Yeah, looking at outer zone 1 where the question was, it might have been a tire right on the line, maybe a tad off, but he was super nice through that outer 1 there. Shorkey jumping back up on his door there between outer 1 and 2, not wanting to let him get away, but this clean run from Jake Little there into the touch and go. Both drivers consistently in that box. Shorkey mimicking everything there that Little is doing. Into the outer 3, Shorkey coming up a little short on proximity, and
I think we're gonna have to go back to that outer zone 1 and emphasize that outer zone 1 replay, and so we can see there. See if we get them to play that one more time for us.
There you go.
So outer zone 1. Let's see if we can capture that. I mean, it really just comes down to, dissecting these runs. We want to make the right decision. We don't want to botch a call or vote. And so right here, he's in for sure. He's in. So I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll leave it to you for a second here, Tyler. I'm gonna discuss with the judges here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like I said, looking back at these runs, I think both drivers had a little bit of a mistake there in outer 3. That seems to be the problem area here, but throughout the rest of the runs, both drivers looked pretty solid. It's cool to see these drivers come out and push like they did. We didn't get to see Jake do a lot of driving last round 1 and 2, but coming out swinging here in round 3. And laying down some solid runs there. Look, just picture perfect almost. A little shy there in that outer 2, but coming in that touch and go just fills it out perfectly. Shorkey right there on his door, and that inner clip, both drivers, lead and follow, were just spot on that inner clip, almost grazing it. Both, Shorkey when he was leading and Little when he was leading. So, this is going to be a tough call for the judges. They're going to have to go back and forth on these replays and, kind of figure out where mistakes were made, who made the most. At this point, it's looking at both these runs, who made the most mistakes, and that's kind of where the decision will lie.
Right. So we're gonna go back and look at the replay from the Shorkey lead before we make a decision. We're gonna put focus on outer zone 1 and 2. So there's a gray area there from the cosmetic line that goes beyond outer zone 2. So again, going back to where we told drivers we didn't have to worry about the cosmetic line, right? That was just for, basically for show, just to kind of give us a track like, look, because through practice, we were telling them just to focus and emphasize on, the boxed in zones, right? And that's the downside to, a parking lot drift is you don't have an actual track. And so it's a tough call. And ideally we just see that one more time, going back to that lead run, because I'm, for me and each of us here, we want to make sure we're making the right call. So we got our FPV point of view here, just going into the outer zone 1, outer zone 2. And then we'll get a replay here of Jake Little's lead run. Just to kind of, and maybe in the future we'll get side by side, but we'll get a point of view here from Jake Little's lead run. Here we go, coming out of outer zone 1 into outer zone 2. Just a shallow going into it. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one for the judges. Just one of those scenarios where, like I said, it's all about who made the most mistakes and, who's going to reap the benefits of that. We could have a winner here. We could have it one more time. Maybe the judges can't decide. So we do those one more times to kind of give them a chance to redeem themselves and eliminate those mistakes. So, this replay playing over and over, you guys get to see kind of how the judges are dissecting it.
So we do have a decision here. We're just waiting for them to show it here on the monitor and see what we all voted on, because we didn't tell each other what we voted on. We're waiting for the screen. So Fun with big boy toys here. Right, slide them left for Shorkey, right for Little.
Looks like we're going to do a one more time here.
So we got a unanimous decision. It's a one more time. Are you guys in my head or what?
This
Wow.
is great. No, everybody's on the same page today. It makes the live stream guys' job a little easier. So
Yeah, so maybe we could catch a little bit of insight from Connor here while we see Casey Rodriguez do his buy run. So let's kind of capture you on here. So yeah, while the judges talk about that last run, we'll go ahead and see Casey Rodriguez do his buy run.
You want to talk right now?
Yeah, so go for it. Welcome back, Connor O'Sullivan.
Yeah, so Shorkey went 2 tires off coming out of outer zone 2, and in the chase, Jake Little transitioning from outer zone 2 to the touch and go did straighten out. So I put them both at a 0 for that run, and that's why I ended up picking one more time. I think they both need to clean it up in a couple areas, and I think I'm going to see a better ride.
Yeah, so that makes sense there. You know, super tough to capture that. You know, just from the original run, you would definitely have to go through a replay to catch those details there. But yeah, I mean, we're just like looking at each other like, one more play, one more time, replay, one more time, replay, one more time, replay.
Right, and I know Jake Little's having some car problems with his engine. I know he's a little bit down on power, so he's making the best of that. They're both great drivers. I know they can clean it up, so I'm excited to see this one more time battle.
Awesome. So we've got to get through the Shorkey Little battle before we get to the Grade 8. So once we see the one more time battle between Shorkey and Little, we can move on to the top of the Grade 8 bracket. So once we get through the Little and Shorkey battle, we'll see Kris Krutul going up against Gerald Naylor-Smith for the Grade 8.
yeah, looking back on that run there from Rodriguez, I was kind of grabbing a little bit of glimpses there while I was talking back here, but I don't know if they were having some technical difficulties with the car, or if it was a driving issue. I'm not sure what it was. I mean, luckily it was a buy run, but at the same time, you still have to wonder, like, he's going into Grade 8.
Right.
What's he got to do to get it right?
Exactly. So I think we're going to cut to a commercial break real quick, just while we wait for these guys to get some new tires mounted. We'll get a drink of water. I'm getting a little bit parched. The sun's coming out. Got to love that. So, yep, stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. These guys are here in the East 10 Drift scrub box, scrub box, burnout box,
scrub box.
scrubs. All right, ready to go one more time. C on C action here. Shorkey leading Little. Shorkey trekking all the way down from Canada. Yep, judges are ready. Little coming down from the what
He's
was
from
it?
North Carolina, I
North
believe.
Carolina. Okay, here we go. Shorkey coming out of the chicane, leading Jake Little. It's the end of our top 16 here. Shorkey throwing that Manji down into outer zone 1. Oh no! Jake Little having a bit of a mishap there. A little bobble from Shorkey. He just needs to put down a clean line. Going into the touch and go. Inner clip. Outer zone 3. Shorkey needs to maintain that level here. And so, yeah, something had to have happened with Jake Little. We'll see in the replay here. But so what's going to happen after this battle is we're going to restripe just to get these boxes back situated. So after this battle, we're restriping these boxes so we can, really have a defined, idea for these drivers and for us of where these lines are at, which they're not too bad right now, but this is the end of top 16 and we'll go in and restripe here for the grade 8. So here we go. Let's look at Jake Little. So
Looks like it was a self-induced
maybe-
accident
yeah,
there.
maybe
Maybe
a
it just locked
misshift
him
or
up.
something.
Yeah. Shorkey
So-
doing what he can to at least sacrifice the rest of his lead run there. Now flipping him around, Shorkey's just going to have to put it on Little's door. I'm sure his spotter's in his ear telling him, play it safe. He had an incomplete behind you, but at the same time, you want to push as hard as you can. So
right. So judges are ready for the second half of this battle. Judges are ready for the second half of this battle for sure. And so, let's just see what happens. You never know. I mean, it'd be crazy to go into a second one more time, but again, it's drifting. So here we go. Jake Little leading. Shorkey to the chase. Jake Little, can he put down a clean line? Shorkey just almost straightening out, but not quite. Still in drift. He has to commit to the run. He cannot. I don't know what's going on with Shorkey either. He's definitely having trouble reading Little. I think he's just struggling reading what Little's doing on his line. Going back to the instant replay here. I mean, it was just super choppy on his chase run.
yeah, so Little throwing down a lead run here. Really coming into that outer one about midway through. Shorkey struggling to keep up with Little there. Don't know if that was a strategic move, but Little into that outer 2 and then into the touch and go. Shorkey really cutting some line there to maintain some distance, but jumps back up on Little's door there for the inner clip. Into outer 3, Little not touching that box until the very end with Shorkey maybe 2 cars behind. Very uncharacteristic of Shorkey there. Not sure if, like I said earlier, maybe he's just trying to play it safe, but at the same time, maybe just trying to read Jake and figure out where he needs to be on track to make it a safe but very consistent run there. Looks like he kind of dropped some angle there to catch up to Jake on that outer 1 to 2.
Yeah, it's just almost from the get-go. I think Little just kind of threw a curveball at him going into outer zone 1. In my opinion, so yeah, I think that just kind of threw the whole chase run off for him. But nevertheless, I don't know if I would deem it an inactive chase. I mean, he's trying for sure. He's not sandbagging whatsoever. He's trying to get in there, but it just, to me, Jake right in outer zone 2 was just kind of stuttered a little bit when he should be full throttle. Coming out of outer zone. I mean, the only decel zone is about 15 to 20 feet after outer zone 2, right? And then, of course, just that little bit after initiating drift into outer zone 1. So I've got my vote in. We'll see what the other judges think. Yeah.
I mean, both these drivers on their chases seemed like outer 1 was a bit of a struggle and almost a straighten from Shorkey there. But
Time. Shorkey gets the win. Shorkey gets the win.
are you voting for all 3 of these, Louie?
No, I know. I swear. You heard Connor's voice. Giraldi, say hello.
How you guys doing?
How you guys doing? How you doing over there? You heard that little accent, huh? How you doing? Forget about it.
That's crazy. You guys are unanimous on all this, which it's cool.
I mean, I like to say great minds think alike. As I'm staring at the guys, I mean, my guys are on it. They're amazing. They're striving. Great minds think alike, I guess. But you know, we want to see some diversity for sure. And I want some more wow factor, right? I don't think, you know, we haven't heard any clapping or shouting yet. And you know, that's not discounting the drivers. It's just, you know, we want to get a little bit more excited, right? We want to see some more aggressive driving. We want to see a solid lead run with an aggressive chase run. You know, we want to show. We want to see if we're getting up off our feet. Well, we're on our feet the whole time, but if we're jumping up and down, you guys got to get up off the couch and cheer with us. So, yeah, go to East10Drift.com. Check us out. Bristol Dragway street fights for the weekend got canceled. They're doing some renovations and repair to the drag strip, but we will be here. So for all the locals who are here in the Tri-City area, the gates are open to you, $10 to get in. Come watch the final round of our Formula Drift ProAm Championship Series. Track goes hot for practice at 10. Some of these guys have merchandise. Come support these drivers. That's part of what helps them fund their program, right? And it's one of the things that we talk about, you know, at drivers meetings and even on our Discord or email. It's, you know, it's not just, hey, I want to be a pro licensed driver. You know, it's a job, it's a business, right? You got to create your brand. How can you market yourself? You need a logo, you need, you know, merchandise, you've got to publicize, right? You've got to get out on social media, you've got to go to events, and you've got to meet people, you got to shake hands, you've got to answer questions, all of that. And it could be exhausting, but it's a job, and that you can't give up, right? You've got to want it, you've got to be passionate about it. And so, you know, I digress from my point. Come by tomorrow and come check these guys out, and they'll answer any questions you have. And then we're doing a 3-day weekend. This is the first time we've done this, I don't know, ever maybe. And so we are going to have a Sunday fun day. We've got the locals coming out on Sunday, and we'll be out here about the same time from 10 to 4. We will have the gates open as well for all those locals. So while these guys are striping, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break here, which pays tribute to our sponsors and whatnot. So thank you again. Shout out to those sponsors that help make this happen.
I was broke, pocket full of lit. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise! 1, 2,
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid lights. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
Big things are coming to East10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
I was broke, pocket full of debt. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise! Watch out!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid life. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
All right, here we are, Bristol Motor Speedway, round 3. It's the grade 8. We've got Kris Krutul at the line leading Gerald Naylor Smith. The judges are ready. The track is restriped. We're clear to send it. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, grade 8. This is where we see door-to-door action right here.
I just bent my knees. I squatted for a second, and it felt so good. All right, here we go. Kris Krutul, all Kevlar system going into outer zone 1. Super confident, looking good on that line, getting it out to outer zone 2. A little decel here to transition into the touch and go. Gerald Naylor Smith, a total different animal, being able to drive his car. Krutul a little off on his line, having to dig deep into outer zone 3. So we saw Krutul just kind of be a little off proximity there for the inner clip.
Yeah, so we'll flip it around to the replay here.
We gotta calm down.
Good run from both these guys. Krutul leading with Gerald Naylor Smith following. Once this replay comes up, we will dissect it. You know, from the point of view that I have up here, you know, I think that was a solid run from both these guys. You know, it's like we said, it's good to be able to see Gerald drive his car and do what he can to put it on the door there to our points leader. So.
Yeah, so yeah, well, once we get clarity here on this instant replay. Okay, so we'll just keep going. We'll look at that instant replay after. So we've got them switched up there at the line. Judges are ready. And let's see what Gerald Naylor Smith's got here on his lead run as Kris Krutul will chase. So both drivers doing a little manji there. Naylor just maybe a little too much decel there into outer zone 1 as he gets into outer zone 2. Just a little shallow on outer zone 2 into the touch and go. Setting up for, about parking it. Going to Gualmar right into outer zone 3. He might have gotten one wheel out right at the beginning. Just a little bit sloppy there, unfortunately, going into inner clip. Like I said, about parked it there at the local Gualmar. and wants to pick up them groceries.
Yeah, that's definitely going to play a deficit there to his lead run. But I mean, I think I think that he was trying to do whatever he could to lay down a solid lead, and it only takes a mistake. Looking at both these runs back to back, obviously we have to compare lead to lead, chase to chase. Krutul trying not to let him get away. He knows what's at stake here, being our points leader. He definitely wants to do whatever he can to move forward through this battle into the top four, or the final four. So, for Naylor Smith to get the win here, obviously that would be a giant killer. But for Krutul to move forward, he's looking at securing more points to his championship win based on his first point standings at the moment. So we'll give these judges a chance to take a look at some notes that they're writing down and try and make a confident decision on both these runs.
So I'm not sure if we get an instant replay. Let me get a nod from Trenton. Are we able to get that instant replay here in a second? So we do want to check that out. So just waiting on an instant replay here, and we'll have a decision shortly. But we are getting that back up on the screen. So here we got Chris's lead run here. So we've got it from our judge's point of view, just a little bit off on the camera there, but he is in outer zone 1. Can we get him into outer zone 2? Just, gets deeper in as he progresses into the outer zone 2 there. Good on the touch and go, just clips that in. Just outside, a little outside of the inner clip there, and then Shy going into outer zone 3. So, not the best line, but a solid lead run in comparison to what we'll see here from Gerald's lead run. So, and of course the awesome little Queen mobile there, Daniel Queen. So here we go. Going back into the replay here. Let's see if we'll see Gerald's lead. He's scrolling here. He's scrolling, trying to get him back up. Come on, buddy. You got this. Feeling the pressure. The heat is on. Gerald's lead run. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, bud. Let's get that on the screen. Okay, so unfortunately we don't have that replay, but I feel pretty confident in my decision here. I'm going to go ahead and put my vote, and then we'll see what the other two judges go with.
Yeah, I have to kind of speculate here. Even without a replay, that you see a pretty good chase from both of these guys, and then a good lead from both of them all. But that one huge hiccup there from Naylor Smith, almost parking it in front of Krutul. I just wonder if that's going to play a role in what decision is made here. It's that the judges want to see you make a good lead run for that chase driver to be able to come up to your door, and anything away from that can affect the points that are given to you.
Right, and so somebody here in the comments is like, why don't you guys use the live feed? Oh, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea, buddy. So we're just going to go back to the live feed. Connor's like, man, why didn't I think of that? But that's what we're doing this for, right? So we can go back and see. And so even scrolling on this thing here might prove a little bit challenging. But we do have a winner here nonetheless. Like I said, I'm pretty confident. Slide them left for Krutul, right for Naylor Smith. Let's see what the judges think. Push the buttons, my friend. Push the buttons. We got one for Krutul. Judge 2 says, one more time. Judge 3 says, Krutul. Oh, what? What? It wasn't unanimous. That's amazing. Okay, so 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. Kris Krutul gets the win. Kris Krutul gets the win. And so, yeah, our first win of the Grade 8, right? That's awesome. So we're going to move on. So here we go. Now we got the replay, right? So yeah, Naylor just parking it there, and again, I mean, he was 2 wheels out there going into outer zone 3. We gotta, this is as serious as it can get. You gotta commit. You gotta be able to put down a clean line. You gotta get enough practice in beforehand, and unfortunately, when you spend half of practice trying to figure out the car, it puts you at a deficit. So here we go. We've got Alan Boss and Reese Conklin coming out of the burnout box. Looks like Reese will be leading Boss. I think the judges are ready. Judges are giving me a thumbs up. Judges are ready, and yeah, we're ready to send it. All right, I'm getting hyped up. I think this might be the one that gets me going. Maybe I need an energy drink. Here we go. Reese Conklin leading Alan Boss going into outer zone 1. Oh no, Boss is straightening out. Reese needs to lay down a nice solid line. Here we go. Nice outer zone 2 into the touch and go. Here we go. Come on, bring it into inner clip 1. Pretty decent proximity, about half the distance. Outer zone 3, nice clean run. So right out the gate, Boss is at a deficit. He may have had a mischief. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll look back on this run and see if maybe we saw some evidence of something going wrong there from Boss, but definitely looked like a self-induced incident there of maybe locking up the front tires or maybe getting caught in the smoke. But Reese able to lay down a good lead run there and solidify his lead portion of the battle. Boss not even wasting the tire, just cruising through the rest of the course, but we're going to flip him around here. And
so yeah, judges are ready. We're ready to send it here. And second half of the battle, like you said, I mean, it just could have came down to, you know, maybe a misshift or something. So here we go. Boss is going to maybe try to get Reese to mess up his chase run, but Reese isn't going to be fooled. He does still have to chase, so we need an active chase from Reese. Getting close to Boss, taking him all the way out deep. For sure, we're going to have to look at that overhead, but I'm pretty sure Boss is going out of outer zone 2 there, maybe 2 tires out. And so Boss keeping it together. So Boss clipping that the outer zone 2 clip. Is that correct? Can I get a nod from one of the other judges? Boss hitting that outer zone 2 clip, or was that Reese? That was Reese clipping that. Okay, so maybe we could get a replay here. Can we get a replay on this? Okay, we got it coming. Maybe an overhead here shortly, just to clear that up, because that will be crucial that'll be crucial for Reese. And then also too, to just see Boss's performance on his lead run here. And so we've got the replay up. Boss goes into outer zone 1. He's in it right where he needs to be. Can we get into outer zone? Ooh, looks to be 2 tires off. We need to just zoom back. Let's get back. Just focus on that outer zone 1. If we could back that up just a little bit into the outer zone 1. So we want to put focus on just the outer zone 2 area here. If we could get that camera turned around in slow motion, maybe if we can. So Reese definitely goes out 2 wheels, but is that at the fault of Boss? This is a tough call right here, because potentially if Reese does go out, that's 2 chase runs that are zeros. So let's see, we're gonna try to like run and play. Here we go. This is the spot right here. Pretty important. So does Boss, is he out? Definitely Reese does go out. Go back. Let's just go back one more time. We got to look super close. Just run it. Yeah, let's just run it. Don't pause it. Just run it clean. Run it. Let it run. Let it play out here. Here we go. We turn the camera. Golly, that is challenging. So do we got another angle? I think we have one more angle here. Let's check it out. Oh, we got the FPV. Let's see, can he get close on it? Boss has 1 wheel in and 1 wheel out, so he's good. He's not too off.
Yeah, you know, like Louie is alluding to there, if we look at it as a deficit, that's different than if we look at it as 2 wheels off. Looking at the chase, if Reese was 2 tires off, which it looked like he was, taking out those cones, that's actually going to give him a 0 for his chase, and Alan Boss also have a 0 for chase. So at that point, the judges would look at lead for lead, who had the better lead. You know, if they can determine it from there, great. If not, then we're going to see this one go one more time.
Yeah, so now we've got to go back and look at both, lead runs like you just said, and see, who if somebody had just a little bit better of a run than the other in that lead position. And so this is where, if Reese knew that Boss went, off course while he was leading, and decided just to take it easy, and if he decided to, really just cruise through the track but not get as deep as he could into these outer zones, like that could count against him, right? So Boss was, on a better line versus Reese. I mean, this is tough. So
Yeah.
if we could, did we have a replay on that first lead, on Reese's lead? Okay, so we got one more. We're really having to just dissect these two runs on these instant replays, and ideally we have a call here shortly. But it's coming down to the wire on at least this one, and we're just in the grade 8. But again, we just want to make sure we're making the right call here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take points away from someone, but you definitely want to help those who did have the better run of the two, or better pair of the runs, if you will. But I'm sure Reese Conklin is biting at the bit right now, trying to figure out how this is going to go, because he's sitting second in points right now. If Boss were to take him out for some reason, that's detrimental to the points lead. But.
Exactly. So, well, we'll get through this Boss lead again, but we want to get back to the Reese Conklin lead in quick fashion if we could here, so we can see, because going back to looking at Boss, he is more he's a lot closer in proximity to that inner clip, where if I remember correctly, Reese was a little bit more shallow there, and man, this would be insane. So he's pretty deep in there, outer zone 2, nice on the touch and go, not as close in proximity to the inner clip 1, and then is deep going into outer zone 3, shallows up in the center, and it gets deeper going into, wow, this is.
I'm gonna let you make that call.
I'm making the call.
I'm not.
Right now,
I have no idea which way this is going.
So let me get one more time on that Boss run, right? So what I want to do is I want to look at outer zone 3 with Boss lead, if we can. If we get to that, let me check that out here for a second.
Yeah, this whoever moves through here is going to be going up against our points leader in the final 4.
Right. So here we go. Outer zone 2. Boss is he's a very aggressive driver. A lot closer on proximity there. Consistent in. Let's see right there. Just keep going. I want to see the beginning of outer zone 3. Go back just a little bit. Just a little outer zone 3 here. Okay, right there. Let's see. Here we go. Just going in, keep going, and let's go ahead and play it out there. So he's pretty much almost dead center, if not leaning towards the outer of the outer zone 3. He's not in and out as Reese does, but he does have more proximity there in the inner clip. So yeah. Judges, did we get the other judges in on voting there? You're good? Okay, so, all right. So I think we got everybody, all the judges voted in here. So super challenging call. I feel like it's going to be lead run against lead run, at least for me. I can't speak on behalf of the other judges, but we'll see how this goes. I'm obviously, I feel like you guys may have a feeling of which way I'm going to vote. And if you do, on the comments right now, tell me who I'm going to vote for right now before I announce it. Let's go. All right. On the count of 3. Hit send. Left for Boss, right for Conklin. One more time. Left for Boss. We got Boss. Ooh! It's a split decision, one more time across the board. So these boys got to throw on a new set of rubbers and go for it one more time. I mean,
the first time none of you have agreed on something.
We're either hot or cold, buddy.
Yeah.
Hot or cold. I mean, I think it ended up the way it needed to end up, right? Like, it is what it is. Here we are. This is round 3. I mean, this is a hard decision, fellas. We got to look at every little thing, right? Lead run against lead run. They both zeroed on their chase. Who voted for what? Not even tell me. Don't tell me. Talk about it later. Okay, here we go. We got the next battle coming up. We've got Abbott leading Glasscock here. We got Abbott leading Glasscock. Abbott in the burnout box, the East10 Drift burnout box. I think next year, ideally, we have that burnout box sponsored by somebody, right?
Yeah, always looking for great sponsors to jump on board and help us out for the year. But also this live stream's getting better and better each time, so your logo is going to be placed in ads and on the track. So,
yeah, totally. So, yeah, super stoked. Trenton, you're doing a great job, buddy. Wildberry Studios in the mix here. Judges are ready. Clear to send. Abbott leading Glasscock. Let's make some noise.
Oh, I have a crowd button here, but I'll play it later.
Here we go, baby. I'm getting excited. I'm getting hyped. I'm going to dance. Here we go. Nicholas Abbott going into outer zone 1. Nice initiation there. Almost left foot braking, I think. I saw that one wheel still. Here we go into outer zone 2. Nice and deep, super consistent. Abbott just cruising through the touch and go here. Let me see some proximity on inner clip 1. Transitioning over to outer zone 3, outer zone 3, and Glasscock just trying to catch up. So, Abbott does not have a lot of horsepower from what he was telling me the other day. And the dude is a thrasher, man. He is throwing down, driving the heck out of that car. He is an exciting driver for sure. I can get hyped up watching him drive all day long.
Yeah, I think it comes all down to setup on this car. It's an S chassis. It's a proven chassis. It's you get that good setup in that car, whether you got power or not. You're gonna, and also you throw a good driver and behind the wheel there, you're gonna have yourself a good lead run there. That car has been a rocket ship all day, as you can see there from the replay. Matthew Glasscock just trying to do whatever he can to keep up with Abbott throughout the rest of the course, but they've got him on the line here, ready to shift him around.
All right, yeah, I think we're good. Judges, yep, let the smoke clear a little bit. Yep, judges are ready, and let's see the second half of this battle. Come on, Mr. Mo, send it, buddy. Here we go. Glasscock leading Abbott out the chicane. Little slow start there, but that's what it's meant for. Glasscock just a little light manji there. Initiation point into outer zone 1. Might be a little shallow there on outer zone 1 going into it. Coming out deeper, and Abbott just staying right there, all bumper to bumper, pretty much. Has to be just a little bit conservative. Glasscock slowing down just a little too much, almost left foot braking into inner clip 1. Outer zone 3, a little shallow there on Glasscock's side. Abbott's like, nah, buddy, this is mine. I want to take it.
I think there was a door mark left there. I didn't see the entire outer zone, but I'm pretty sure. So looking into outer 1 here, Glasscock coming up short of outer 1. Right on the door is Abbott. Into outer 2, Glasscock a little late getting in, but Abbott's still right there. Switching into the inner clip here, both of them coming in pretty close there. Into outer 3, Abbott right on the door. Right there's where I saw a little bit of a contact from a tire to the door of Glasscock. Glasscock no slouch when it comes to driving. So, I fully expected him to make a solid lead run, which he did. Falling short of a couple of zones there, but still showing you that he's capable of being out here with these guys. And Abbott just. He's hungry. I think he doesn't want to leave anything to chance, and if it comes to putting my tire on your door, he's going to do it in order to get that win. So
yeah. So one of the things, it's like in a driver's meeting, right? Like you're the chase driver. You could be a pretty confident chase driver, aggressive. They say, where do I follow the driver? If the driver goes off 1 tire, 2 tires, do I go off with him? Yes. Let the leader lead you wherever he's going, unless it's a barricade. But you want to mimic that line. You want to mimic the angle. You want to have as much proximity as you can while in chase. And so you gotta take that into consideration, right? You don't want to be too relaxed on your chase run, being overconfident on your lead, because you never know. You don't want to leave nothing on the table there. And on your lead run, you want to be right in the zone where you need to be. And that's the other thing too, is like, would you rather have 1 tire off or I'm sorry, would you rather have 2 tires off, or would you rather us be shy of the outer zone? Well, I would rather you be shy versus 2 tires off, because 2 tires off is a wall and that's a 0, right?
Right.
So, you know, here we go. I think judges got it, got their votes in here. So slide them left for Abbott, right for Glasscock. 1 for Abbott there, 2 for Abbott, 3 for Abbott. Abbott gets the win. Abbott gets the win. And another unanimous decision after.
You guys are back on the same page.
Yeah, we're
finally,
back on the
know?
same page. Yeah. So here we go. It's like, who voted that way? Like, who went? It was like a freaking right down the middle, all over the place. So here we go. But anyway, that was a good decision there by all judges on the same page here. Moving on to, let's see here. We got Shorkey and Rodriguez. So Casey, so Shorkey leads Rodriguez. Shorkey leads Rodriguez. Shorkey leads Rodriguez at the start line there, both in the East10 Drift burnout box. And so
both of these guys coming to us from the north. You know, we got Shorkey in Canada. Rodriguez is somewhere up north. I can't remember exactly where he and Boss are from. But
you know, in Spanish, that's norteños, right? Norteños, right? Maybe one day we'll get some music here, right, Trenton? That's the next round 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow, play a little paisa music for you, for la gente de la casa. Ahí estamos. Tomorrow is Sábado Gigante. So, all right, here we go. Shorkey leading Rodriguez. Judges are ready, and we're excited. So we're getting pumped as we get closer to the final 4. That's the next set of battles after this one here. Shorkey exiting the start line there into the initiation point, outer zone 1. Casey is just on the door there. Again, you got to remember at practice, this guy just came out the gate just on the line there. Casey drops a couple tires. Ooh, way off the line. Oh, no.
Oh, man, yeah, that's
what had happened was
detrimental to the program here. Like,
totally. Like, was that just a slip of a clutch foot? Is he going to go and inspect the course? Did he find some oil that we can't see? Or is it just a legit, like, maybe the wheel locked on him? Wow.
Yeah, we, you know, I think, you know, Rodriguez was bulling him around the course there for a little bit, but I don't know that had anything to do with what happened with Shorkey there. It looked like he just kind of, he knew he was going to be too far off course and maybe straightened it up there, but into outer 2 there.
Yeah.
And then the rotation just happened too late and just blew the touch and go out, which is so unfortunate here with our just third place points standing here. You know, he wants to do what he can to win these battles and make it through to the finals again, and you know, he's got to hope and pray for a huge mistake here from Rodriguez. I know he's going to do what he can to put the pressure on him too to help cause those mistakes. So we're probably going to see some door-to-door here.
Oh boy, here we go, guys. It's Bristol, baby. It ain't Dega, but it's Bristol.
Second best.
All right, judges are ready, and we're ready to see Casey Rodriguez lead Andrew Shorkey, the Norteños here, the Norteño battle, right? Here at Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol Thunder Valley, round 3. East10Drift ProAm Championship Series. Casey taking it into outer zone 1. Nice fast line there, keeping it super consistent into outer zone 2. A little decel here to transition into the touch and go. Aiming for that inner clip. Let's see that nice close proximity transition into outer zone 3. 1 tire down, but that's okay. Casey keeping it super deep, coming out of outer zone 3 into the finish line there. Super nice, solid run. Casey showcasing his abilities here today with this course.
Yeah, like you said, coming out swinging in practice, and he's proven here why he's here. He's, you know, making it hard to compete with. You know, he's up there in the top here. So going into outer 1, filling it completely into outer 2, right where he needs to be. Shorkey right on his door, trying to do whatever he can to make some mistakes into outer or the touch and go there. Casey right where he needs to be into that inner clip as well. Shorkey, he's there. He knows he has to press, but unfortunately falls back about a car length and then sucks up to the door at the end of outer 3. You know, I think if you know, if you were Casey's spotter, you at the end of that last run, you just said, you know what, buddy, just lay down a solid lead run, and he did just that. You know, I don't think that that was the best run that I've seen from him all day, and I think it was because he knew, like, this victory is mine. All I have to do is make this good and clean. So, you know, Shorkey, I'm sure is kicking himself right now because of that mistake. But at the end of the day, like we said it time and time again, it's drifting. Anything can happen. So
right. But I think we all know which way this is going to go. And so
get the judges' decisions locked in.
Yeah, waiting
here.
for the judges' decisions. The next battle should be going back to Conklin and Boss. They should be at the burnout box, probably scrubbing here in a second. And so we're still waiting on still waiting on judges' decisions. So we should see these guys getting out to the burnout box. Oh, looks like we have decision here. All right, slide them right for Rodriguez, left for Shorkey, and of course Rodriguez gets the win. Rodriguez gets the win.
Man,
so,
giant killer. So we're gonna see Rodriguez move on against Abbott in the final 4. So you know, it's crazy the swap up we did just then.
Right. I mean, I'm curious to see where points are at right now.
Yeah.
You plugging that in?
I'll plug it in once we get done here.
Oh, come on, man!
Keep
You
up
should
with
be doing that right
everything.
now, dude. Multitask. All right. So we got Reese and Boss scrubbing tire, getting ready for the one more time battle. Reese leading Boss. Reese leading Boss is what we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good. So here we go. All right, this is the last of the final 4. Then we'll get to a commercial after this battle. So the judges are ready to send it, and I'm excited. I think these guys over here, Schiraldi's giving us the hands behind the back old man nod. He's excited. That's his expression of excitement. Here we go. Reese Conklin trying to gain the lead here, but goes into outer cone 1. Boss might have been 2 wheels off there, clipping the clipping point there. Reese filling the zone properly, staying inside the line. Here we go at the touch and go. Reese trying to get that proximity in the inner clip. Into outer zone 3, and Boss is on his door. He's like, "Nah, buddy, I'm coming for you."
I have to believe we're going to see the same thing reciprocated here.
Yeah, and so we'll have to see the replay on that outer zone 1 clipping point there to see if Boss was out of the past the line here.
So you see right there, hits the.
So it looks like he is. Let's go right back. Go back one more time if we could. Let's see here, side by side. He is. Do we have an overhead? Can we get an overhead shot of that? So yeah, we're gonna see from an overhead perspective here, because it right there. Ooh. Here we go, right there. Nope, right. Go back a little bit, sir. Here we go, right there. Yep. So that's unfortunate. Boss out 2 tires on that outer zone. And again, the easy indicator there is that these clipping points are 5 feet away from the actual zone, and the drivers know this, so that way they can save us some money by not damaging these things.
That one looked like a football, Louie. I saw that one almost hit the truck.
Yeah,
about 50 feet away from it. So we knew that there was definitely some strike there for one of those poor outer clips.
Okay, so Boss is at a deficit again. Here, and so I think the judges are ready. Judges, we're ready to see that next battle now here, the second half of the battle. And so, yeah, let's see what we got here. So, if Boss can influence Reese and into watching his chase run here, let's see what happens. So Boss taking off from the line here, nice clean out of the chicane, going into outer zone 1, nice clean line. Reese needs to actively chase, which he is, and he's really just trying to nose in. He's not really mimicking that angle, but he's trying to show some aggression there, and Boss is just trying to throw him off, and Boss putting down the clean line, but I think at the end of the day, we may have a clear winner here.
Yeah, the only question I have here, does Boss know that he was at that deficit? Because I'm not sure if his spotter might be watching the live stream.
Or the shock of like a decision. So this is an easy call for me for sure. Possibly the other judges. But you never know. And also, well, you never know the turnout, right? Again, going back to that, keep repeating ourselves there, but here we go. We got a decision here. Slide them left for Reese, slide them right for Allen, and of course, unanimous. Reese Conklin gets the win. Unanimous. Reese Conklin gets the win. All right. So we're moving on into the Final Four. So we're going to move on into the Final Four. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to restripe and see what happens on the other side.
Yeah, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. We've got Krutul in our Final Four, and he's going to be paired up with the winner of that battle, Reese Conklin, and then the second half of our Final Four battle will be Abbott versus Rodriguez. Heavy hitters here to come, so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes or so. Chill out, message us on the board. We'll be on there. We're going to watch these guys restripe, get ready for the Final Four. It's East 10 Drift, round 3 here at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Thunder Valley. It's our Formula Drift ProAm Championship Series.
I was broke, pocket full of lit, 9 on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog, 9 stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid life. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZ Rags custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZ Rag today.
Big things are coming to East 10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East 10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
I was broke, pocket full of debt. Now I'm on the fence, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid life. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
Big things are coming.
All right, we're back. We dancing, baby. And we got music. Here we go. All right. We're going back to the bracket here. It's the final four. Bristol Motor Speedway, La Chona. And we're excited. So we're starting off with Kris Krutul going up against Reese Conklin. And then the next battle, Abbott against Rodriguez. This is it. Going for the gold, the #1 spot. We're ready to send it. Judges, you ready? You guys ready at home? I know we're ready. Mother Nature's getting rowdy, so we want to get going. Judges are ready. We're clear to send. Let's do this. The final four, round 3, Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol Thunder Valley. It's our Formula Drift ProAm Championship Series. Let's get hyped. Kris Krutul, let's see you throw it in that outer zone 1, baby. Going in there, Reese is like, let me have it, baby. Just throw it over here. Let's go into outer zone 2. Give me a little decel zone, a little touch and go. Tippity tap. Oh no, falling short of that inner clip 1. Kris Krutul, that could be a bad move for him, but Reese just staying on his door. Super aggressive driving from the 17-year-old Pro-Am driver. Man, that was exciting.
Yeah, so looking back at this run here, Krutul in the lead, throwing it into that outer 1. Looks like he locks up the right front tire there and causes him to straighten a little bit, but Reese right there on his door, not letting him get away into outer 2. Kris Krutul a little shy of it, but gets back into it a little late. And then in this inner clip, both drivers around the 3rd hash mark into the outer 3 there. Kris Krutul doing exactly what he needed to do, but Reese right on his door, not letting him get away. I think both of these drivers want it badly. This is 1 and 2 in the points right now. This is going to be a huge break for either one of them that wins this. This is, you know, I don't know the points difference off the top of my head, but could be a flipping points here if Reese gets the lead, or if Krutul gets the win here. He's just going to keep separating himself from Conklin. So.
Right. So we just, you know, we need to see Reese and his lead run be just deeper in the zones, more proximity on the inner clip, and he'll have it. But you never know. So judges are ready, and we're pretty excited here, wanting to see the second half. I'm nervous. I'm stuttering over here. Here we go. Reese leading Kris Krutul into outer zone 1, ripping that e-brake. He hit the inner clip. Did he get outside of outer zone 1, going into outer zone 2? Nice solid line there into the touch and go. 1 wheel off for sure. More proximity into inner clip 1, going into outer zone 3. He's got to stay deep. He's got to stay consistent there, and Kris isn't letting him go. We're definitely going to have to see some replays on that. More emphasis on the entry of Reese Conklin into outer zone 1. That could be vital to this run.
Yeah, looking at that entry there, Reese did punt the outer clip there, but into outer 2, Reese right where he needs to be, dropping 1 tire out. Into the touch and go, Reese exactly where he needs to be, but Krutul right on his door into the 2nd hash mark of the inner clip and into outer 3. Man, you know, it's all gonna circle back to this initiation from Reese, because from the judges' stand, we did see that clip go flying, just like we did with Boss earlier.
Right. So we'll need to see the emphasis on outer zone 1 real quick. Let's see if we get back to that, and we're hoping we get away from some bad weather here, but it's not coming out. Oh, here we go. Yep. Okay, they're off the line. So, ooh, go back, and there's no way to zoom in on that. That looks like can we get an FPV view on that? Hold on, here we go. FPV view on Reese's entry here into outer zone 1. Is it 2 wheels out? Right there it is. Oh,
man.
That is, oh man, that's a heartbreaker right there. That is a heartbreaker, but that seals the deal, I think. All right. Wow.
Not the way you want to see it end here, but I think we, based on that and based on, you know, recent decisions in the past, talking about the same subject, I think we kind of have to know which way that this is going to go, and it's a tough one, because we obviously want to see these guys move forward, but at the same time, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, and it all comes down to who made the most mistakes or who had the better of the 2 runs. So judges are going to lock in their decisions here, and once we get those decisions, we'll blast them up on the screen so you guys at home can see, you know, who's going to be moving forward here.
Yeah, no, totally. So lots going on up here. We've got the screen up. We got Reese. Slide him left for Reese. Slide him right for Kris. And I think we all know it. Kris Krutul gets the win. Kris Krutul gets the win. Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for sure. But both drivers, great guys. If it was the other way around, it's still the same thing. It'd be a heartbreaker for the other driver. You never want to see somebody go out because of something like that. But it is what it is. We're going to move on to the next battle here. So, you know, putting these events together, you know, it's a little bit challenging, right? Okay, so we got Abbott and, of course, Rodriguez at the box. A little bit challenging, you know, you got to multitask. So part of what I have to do here is make sure everybody's safe. You know, the clouds are rolling in. You know, one of my guys tells me, hey, I saw some lightning. You pull up the satellite, make sure we don't have lightning within a 10-mile proximity. And so we're good right now. We're going to keep an eye on this storm. Hopefully we can get through these battles scotch-free. But let's see what happens here. So there's no worry with lightning right now. It is, again, 10 miles out, so we're good on that. And we've got Abbott leading. Judges are ready to see Abbott lead Casey Rodriguez.
Our second battle in the final 4. This is going to be the winner of this will go into the finals here.
There it is. Who's going to get to the final battle? Abbott leading Casey Rodriguez. 2 solid drivers here with the East10Drift ProAm Championship Series. Abbott throwing way too much angle. Zeros his run. He's shutting it down. He knows he may have just cost him a podium, or at least a P1. That's unfortunate right there. And of course, Casey having to shut it down just because of safety factor there. Abbott being in his line of sight, so he does the right thing there. So let's see what happened going back to the replay here.
Yeah,
I mean, Abbott just getting super wild with the major flick there and just about parks it. And yeah, I mean, that's just, that's a fluke.
I have to say that it looked like that was some pretty heavy contact there, so I'd have to imagine that there were some broken parts on Abbott's end, and that's why he decided to pull off from the run. I think for sure that Abbott is going to be at fault here for throwing in all that angle, but both.
Okay, so catch and win. Rodriguez is taking a 5-minute competition timeout. He's got to go get the tie rod and get back out to hot pit. They're going to do it over there, back in the paddock area. So we will need somebody to keep track of the 5-minute competition timeout at the Casey Rodriguez pit, and we've got one of our guys heading out that way right now. As soon as they put hands on that car, the timer starts, and so we're kind of on hold now. So we're on hold until we get through this 5-minute. Hopefully Mother Nature holds out, and man. Yep, so not a competition timeout. He's got the because it's deemed at the fault of Abbott, Casey can repair the car to get back to the line. Now, Abbott would need to call a comp timeout if he needs to do any touching on his car. So if Abbott is touching his car, he will need to call a competition timeout. So we just got to clarify that. And I know they're just kind of. They're walking around their car, Abbott's car with their hands behind their back before they decide to make that call. But Casey will have at least 10 minutes. He has at least 10 minutes to run through the car, see if he has to replace that tie rod, which I think his spotter is saying he has to replace a tie rod. Correct? Yep. So he's got to replace that tie rod. So getting wild, man. See, you never know.
Heavy contact when we move into the final 4. It's just part of it, and we're not even in the finals yet.
So at the most, we're looking at 10 minutes, right? We're looking at 10 minutes max for an answer whether we're going to continue on with this battle or not, and then we move on to the next set, which is the final, right? So Kris is like, he's jonesing for an answer right now, and we're not doing a battle for third. We just award the higher ranked driver third place, and then we get down to points. Maybe you can work on points while we're waiting.
I can probably start throwing some stuff together. I did want to touch on that. While Conklin went out, he's still on the podium because of his ranks. So
oh wow, okay.
Conklin is 5th, and Rodriguez was 6th.
Right.
So he beats Rodriguez no matter who goes through here.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take that back. We got to wait to see if Abbott.
So Abbott, there's just if Abbott won, which would be a huge feat, right? Something weird's got to happen.
Yeah.
Then Reese will podium. I think Reese is gonna podium no matter what, because you got Rodriguez at 6, Abbott's at 2, and Conklin's at 5th.
If Rodriguez goes through,
then Abbott wins.
Keep the podium spot.
Yep.
If
Okay.
Abbott, like you said, if Abbott somehow pulls this out,
okay,
Conklin will remain on the podium.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a mind bender there.
Yeah,
it's a mind bender. Numbers, threers. All right. Wasn't there a show that they had number 3 in the word numbers? I don't know. Anyway, we're super pumped. We're anxious now at this point because it's getting it's getting a little dark out here. The cloud coverage is increasing, and let's just hope for the drift gods, right? Let's just make sure that they continue to protect us from this, from inclement weather, and make something happen for us, because we got another at least 8 minutes, and everybody's just like, oh my God, they're getting nervous. They're biting their fingernails. Start line Mo is like getting super eager to push forward, and so Abbott is back at the line. He's hanging out until Casey gets back, and obviously if he's at the line, that means he's good to go. They didn't touch his car, so he's just patiently waiting there. Golly, it figures.
I can only say that it's probably going to get worse on these guys, because I know, Abbott right now, he's sitting at the line, and that's honestly the worst thing that you can do right now, because you're talking to yourself in your head, but at the same time, you have Casey in his pit saying, guys, we need to get this done. We need to get this done.
Yeah.
I have a really good chance of moving through right here to the finals.
Right.
So it's just a lot of pressure on both these guys for different reasons, but, going into the final battle, I think we're bound to see a good battle regardless of who moves through. So
right, definitely. So, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough point. It's a tough position to be in, because especially for Abbott just sitting there hanging out. It's like you don't want to get out of the car, because then you got to get back in, get buttoned up, all that sort of stuff. And so you just got to hang there and just wonder and think of all the variables, right? Think of all the possibilities and what could happen if this happens, yada yada. So, man, super exciting. So. Taking this opportunity one more time, thanking all the sponsors for sure. We're here about to close out round 3. Sometimes things like this obviously push us out on time, and thankfully Bristol Motor Speedway, they're amazing, and they love to work with us, and so they give us that opportunity to be able to, have the time available for these types of instances. So shout out to the Bristol Motor family there, Bristol Motor Speedway family, and so. And a quick shout out to the boys over there, John and them at the Drift Mansion. Love going out there. Super fun spot. If you haven't checked it out, hit them up. Super cool family that runs it. Great Airbnb if you want to hang out with the boys and drift and party and all that good stuff. So shout out to them. Of course, Connor here. Thank you to Connor O'Sullivan for judging again for us here. Rookie pro driver with Formula Drift, unveiled the U.S. Army build for round 1 at Long Beach. And did you see what he did with just 700 horsepower against Osbo? I mean, what did Osbo have, like 2,000 or something like that?
He's probably knocking on 1,200.
I've never seen Osbo's chin so sweaty. I mean, it was crazy. It was weird, but yeah, dude, it was nuts. And props to you, dude. You threw down for sure. And then now they're going back to Long Beach again. I mean, for the final round. So I'm super curious how that'll work out. So, but yeah, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We've got our team here working diligently to keep you all entertained there. And I can only hear myself talk so much, and Tyler has to hear me every day now. So
I'm just enjoying it. I was trying to put your points together, and I'm scared.
It's scared. We'll give you a second. So we'll cut to a quick commercial break. Thank you for hanging out with us here. Be patient with us. It's Friday, 5 o'clock somewhere. Crack a beer open. Crack one up. One of them White Claws or whatever that
Ain't
is.
no laws.
Ain't no laws.
White Claws.
Those surges, buddy.
All right, thank you so much. What did you just do? I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like a underdog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid life. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
Big things are coming to East 10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East 10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Guys, we're back. We're trying to get through this battle. Casey made it back to the line on time without taking a competition timeout. Judges are ready to send it. Let's do it, boys. Second half of the battle. Casey just needs a solid, clean lead run, and he'll move on into the final bout. Here we go. Get to the line here, out of zone 1. He's got it in there for sure. Keeping inside the line, inside out of zone 2. There we go, nice clean transition into the touch and go. Abbott putting on the pressure, trying to make him mess up here. Casey doesn't look like he's happening at all. He wants to put down a solid lead run after replacing that tie rod. It's a no-brainer, folks.
Yeah, I mean, Abbott was definitely fighting there, trying to cause some mistakes from Rodriguez, but unfortunately, I think the mistake was made there. So going into outer one, Rodriguez right in that zone, right where he needs to be, but Abbott right on his door, trying to get closer there into outer two, but Rodriguez just hitting the marks there. Going into the touch and go, Rodriguez also bumper in the zone and second hash mark on that inner clip, but Abbott scraping the bumper on that transition into outer three, but Rodriguez and Abbott both right in that zone. I think there might have been a little bit of a tire contact there from Abbott to Rodriguez, just telling him, hey, I'm here. I know you win, but I'm here.
He's ready to go. He sees the clouds. Not the ones coming from his tires either.
Yeah, so right here you can see, watch how close we get to the door right here.
Well, even in that transition, I mean, Abbott's just right on the bumper in that transition, and you want to see that. It's just unfortunate circumstances, I think, for Abbott. So
let the judges lock in their decisions here.
All right, here we go. We got it on the screen. Slide them left for Abbott, right for Rodriguez, and here we go. It's unanimous. Rodriguez gets the win. Rodriguez gets the win. And so we want to get these guys changed out on tires as soon as possible. We know things are happening with Mother Nature here, and I don't like to say that other word. So up next, we got Kris Krutul leading Rodriguez. And so that puts Abbott into third. So Abbott podium's third, which now this makes it, I think, the third straight round that Abbott gets on there. So congrats to him. But now it's time for the final battle. Final battle.
It's the final countdown.
All right, here we go. We're getting goofy. I feel like it's like 7 o'clock, but it's only 4 o'clock, man. I guess that's a testament to my age here.
No, it's the clouds.
And I'm not even one of the veterans of this sport. I'm just a.
It's Schroeder's birthday today, by the way. So
happy birthday,
everybody
Schroeder.
go wish him some happy birthdays on the chat.
He loves Arby's. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Bristol Motor Speedway, round 3, final battle. Who's in it to win it? Everybody's getting excited.
This is going to be intense. You know, we haven't really seen Rodriguez come this far. But from what we've seen from him today, he's really putting it on, putting down some consistent lines and really aggressive when it comes to lead and chase. So
yeah, I think, you know, he's definitely loving this layout a little bit more than the last one. And the last one is super deceiving. Like most of the drivers are like, wow, it doesn't look that fast. But when you're on it, it's like it is super fast. But this one's it's pretty fast. It allows, it's a little bit more technical in my opinion. Especially when you're coming out of outer zone 2, touch and go into the inner clip. I mean, then into outer zone 3 in a very short distance. I mean, you really have to focus on your line and, you know, when to downshift, when to rip the e-brake. There's a lot going on at the same time. And, you know, some people don't really think about it until they're really, you know, behind the wheel navigating through the course. And, you know, for me this morning, you know, trying to get this layout set up, I'm super, you know, lucky and privileged that I get to, you know, drive my own car to help get this course laid out, or most of the courses that we do. And, you know, I was, you know, going against my own, you know, advice when I tell these guys, like, you know, take a deep breath, focus, don't get frustrated, don't get into your own head. You know, taking a couple laps, and I'm like, why am I not getting this? And it's just like, okay, I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, focus, and just do what you do best. Do what you love to do, and just hit those marks. And so it's crucial because you don't want to have a layout that's, you know, just doesn't flow well, or, you know, just doesn't allow these drivers to, you know, excel in certain areas and techniques. And it's challenging. It's a lot of pressure, right? Because, you know, that's the last thing you need is a group of drivers angry because, like, their performance was horrible due to, you know, a misinterpreted, you know, zone or curve or whatever. And, you know, for, you know, what we have here, a parking lot, you know, we really try to, you know, give them as much substance as possible and give them a good layout with decent amount of speed. So, you know, depending on the gearing, you know, definitely a third gear entry, you know, outer zone 1, outer zone 2 sweeper, downshifting into the touch and go to second. Again, depending on the gearing itself. So, and then sometimes, you know, even if you're in second, like I know for me, like you're banging the limiter in second about halfway through outer zone 3. So do you shift?
Yeah.
You know, and that's my situation. So again, everybody's car is different. So, you know, super tricky. You know, lots of detail when it comes down to, you know, developing your strategy. How are you going to get the car to certain points and whatnot. So, looks like these guys are about ready to get into the burnout box.
Are we ready to scrub in?
And so we're definitely ready to scrub the tires on these cars, see these boys get to the line. I know the judges are ready for sure when the start line's ready. So, you know, we're ready to send it.
Yeah, and you know, this layout is one that, driven correctly, you may not even have to hit the brakes. I mean, you've got that slight decel zone there, but because you're angling up the car for the touch and go, you know, there's a chance there you can get by without a brake. But it's kind of a layout where it's full commitment on the initiation, especially if you're a chase driver and you want to put it up to the door of that lead driver. You know, full commitment into a kind of tighter section, which definitely leads to some tight tandem action.
Yep. Exactly. Here we go. Judges are ready. Kris Krutul leading Casey Rodriguez for the win. Who's going to take it? Round 3, Bristol Motor Speedway, East10 Drift, Formula Drift, ProAm Championship Series. Send it, baby. Here we go into outer zone 1. Little left foot brake by Kris Krutul. Casey definitely applying the pressure. Kris falling short of outer zone 2. That could be critical there. Maybe even short on the touch and go. Decent proximity. Casey a little too aggressive, tapping Kris Krutul into outer zone 3. We're going to have to look at that replay for sure. Did Kris Krutul apply too much angle to cause him to slow up, which gave the opportunity for Casey to involuntarily hit Kris? So,
yeah, looking at the replay here, it looks like both drivers just shy of outer 1 and outer 2. Casey there, but kind of back a little bit. Krutul shy of that touch and go as well. The little contact there made before, but it just looks like Kris is having some issues getting out to all these zones. In a little late there to outer 3, but
yeah, and we'll have to go back to that transition from the touch and go inner clip 1.
Okay,
as we get into outer zone, yeah, going back to that view there. I think that's the judges' tower view for sure. Little bobble there by Kris Krutul there. Shy again of outer zone 2. So you see the smoke kind of ease out, but he gets into it, and you know, Casey could have been just a little bit too aggressive. But it's not a 0 by any means. It's definitely a deduction in my eyes, but you know, we'll see what happens here. And so, you know, it's I think, who was it? The judge from Canada from NFD. Lantaine was the last one that I can remember who was kind of doing both the announcing and the judging at the same time. Because it's challenging, but for me, it's like, you know, I enjoy, you know, the play-by-play, because my brain works a little bit different, where it's just like really just, you know, giving me that muscle memory of, okay, where do I need to, you know, replay it at? I mean, he's shy there, which, you know, technically here,
like
it
could have but they
botched
didn't.
the line. It did, right?
I thought they tapped each other, but right there you can definitely see that they were.
There's
a
no
little bit of
contact.
distance.
Yeah, so.
Slowing it down here to
So-
see if there was some contact.
Let's see it one more time. Slow motion. A little bit forward. No, there's a gap. Wow. That was weird.
It looked like Krutul's car moved, but
you want normal speed?
yeah,
You thought, yeah.
because Krutul's car moved.
Yeah. That's super weird. But yeah, no, there's no contact there. So good deal on the replay there, Trenton. You're getting good at it, boy.
Practice makes perfect.
All right, so judges are ready. Judges are ready for the second half of this battle. We got Casey Rodriguez leading Kris Krutul possibly for the win. You never know. No announcer's curse here, maybe? Question mark? Here we go, baby. Could this be the last battle? Round 3, going into outer zone 1, left foot brake, pretty solid line. One wheel definitely on the line. Kris shutting it down early. Casey needs to commit. He needs to put down a solid run. Can he get there? Outer zone 3, nice and consistent. Did it seal the deal? Question mark. Did it seal the deal? Now we got to go back. We got to see the replay going into outer zone 1. We got to see what happened with Kris. Did Casey, it's a decel zone there, just going right there is a decel zone. He's committing right there, and he just independently straightens out. Something happened there. He could have thrown a belt. Now, he's been having that issue all day long. Kris Krutul has. And so that could have been, I think the lady who, the opera lady, she might have sung for one of these guys. I'm just trying to be PC, man.
Sorry, when the can't say
all right, here we
anymore.
go.
Yeah, so I think judges are going to lock in some decisions here. I mean, obviously we're not going to announce the winner quite yet, unless are we doing an award ceremony?
Well, so I'm going to step aside here to see if we have a decision. We won't announce it if we do, but you can stay tuned. We're going to try to get to, if we have a winner, a ceremony here. So stand by here for winner. And so give me 1 second. I'll throw it to you, Tyler.
Yeah, so both drivers outside their car now, just kind of talking about the run. I think, you know, it looked like Kris was either dropping power there, or like Louie said, maybe he has thrown a belt or for some reason stopped driving through outer 1 and 2. But Rodriguez knew exactly what he had to do here. He just had to lay down a good solid lead, which he did. So, you know, looking back at it, that's kind of what he did. Looks like we have a decision, so we're gonna maybe take a quick commercial break while they get the drivers into position for the award ceremony, and we'll be back here shortly.
I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the fence, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid lights. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
Big things are coming to East 10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East 10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
I was broke, pocket full of debt. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like a mother dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Atlanta, where it all started. Known for its high-speed entry, setting the stage for an incredible display of power and precision. This May 8th to 10th, experience Road Atlanta's legendary track.
How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise!
Get ready for round 2. It's a weekend of unforgettable moments. Experience the history featuring grid life. Get your tickets now.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
Big things are coming to East10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers